Okay, Deputy Joe McHugh's with me here. Joe, it's been a disappointing first day count for Fine Gael because it looks as if that seat that you've held since the 30s is gone. Every Fine Gael member must be hugely disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to a few today and the messages are coming in. It's massive disappointment, and saying that though with two excellent candidates, and the big factor against both of them was profile and not being for Nikki not being in the Senate long enough and not having that time to embed herself to create that profile. Similarly to John, John wasn't a county councillor, but he was known within the party. But to get that extra profile, but we're very grateful because there's nobody queuing up to run for politics anymore, and I have great admiration for both of them for putting their names on the ticket.
You give the party plenty of notice that you'll be stepping down, Joe. Why were they so slow in organising stuff and getting people organised to run in this election?
Look, I think even you can feel the dynamic in the town centre. Politics has changed in Donegal because of the single biggest issue, which is not just crumbling houses. It's people who are going through a traumatic time, are dealing with the fallout from that, and that is the single biggest issue. It's the issue of our generation, Charlie, that will be here for the next 20 years plus. So that being the case, it was always going to be difficult to map out a way forward for the party. I suppose when I decided to take the decision I took in terms of voting against the government, it did make it difficult for the organisation. I didn't want to do that, but I felt it was the right thing, and it was the right thing to do at the time, Charlie.
And listen, Joe, it's a long way back for Fine Gael now because you've only got 3 councillors on the county count. So Fine Gael have a lot of catching up to do. Are they prepared for that, or are they able for that?
Well, look, I came in '99, and 2 years prior to that with no Fine Gael seat in Donegal North East. What changed in relation to that? Hard work. There's an opportunity here now with 2 excellent candidates running. Obviously John and Nikki will take time to reflect. We've sitting councillors who are very, very well regarded within their own respective communities within the county. So it will require somebody stepping up to the plate and putting in the effort, and there's always somebody out there that's willing to take on a challenge. I suppose when I think back to '99, and going into the 2007 general election, I remember Ivan Yates, and I think it was Celtic Bookmakers at the time. It was even giving me 7-1 to win the seat, but I knew in my own heart and soul with the work done, and we ended up topping the poll, Charlie, as you remember, back in 2007.
Is there a detachment from head office and local here, Joe?
I don't think so, and I say this for this reason, Charlie. I think Fine Gael is bearing the brunt of the defective blocks issue on the basis that we were in government and brought in the 90-10 scheme. A scheme that I stood over at the time, a scheme that I worked very, very hard to get over the line. But that promise of a 90-10 scheme, it disappeared and became a 60-40 scheme. So once that I suppose that guarantee of a 90-10 was gone, I think everything changed after that, Charlie.
And we live in an era now, and I've made this point to several people I've spoken to, where no one party is going to dominate, Joe. There's going to be coalitions. We have 3 parties with around 20% this time. We have a lot of independents and smaller parties as well. That's the way it's going to be. Is that a healthy situation?
Well, look, it's a very interesting situation, because if you look at incumbency around the world, in America, in Europe, it's nearly a case of once you have an incumbent, to get rid of them. But if you look now at the history of Fine Gael in this state, up until 2011, Fine Gael had never won a back-to-back election. Now they won a back-to-back in 2016. They won a 3rd term in 2020. Now here we are in 2024, and they're still in that position of incumbency. So it's still healthy that maybe you have, that you don't have one party dominating over the other, and I think this is going to be the way for the distant future, as far as I can see.
A different politics to the one you came into, Joe?
It was. It is. Look, it was a different time back then. I think I was coming out during the old school type politics. It was very much drinking tea and spending time in houses and going up to houses at maybe 10:15 before closing of the booth, and you were trying to get the vote out. It was old style, and I remember having a very old style campaign in 2000 or in '99 for my council election. We used all the old style techniques. We, went about it in a very it was a grassroots approach, from probably coming from a community development background, but it's different now. There's people getting elected on social media that maybe never even knocked on the door. Yeah. It's different.
Final point, looking forward to the next chapter?
I am, Charlie. I am, but I'm grateful that I got the opportunity. I'm honoured that I had the privilege to represent my own county, the people in this county, not alone the people that voted for me, but also I'll always be grateful for the people that put me there, the people that worked hard, the people that created this opportunity for me to do the best I could do for my county. And I suppose at the end of the day, that's all you can do.